the last night of our holiday, which is very sad. Tomorrow we go home, but we decided to come out for a nice meal to celebrate our holiday. We had a fantastic time. And we're at a place called the 1930, which is on the spit of Island near the campsite. And we've just ordered prawns and tataki de beef to start with, and then we've both had entrecôte de beef with chips for a main course. So we'll have to see what that goes like. Cheers. This is my prawns that I've got here. I wasn't quite expecting them to look like this, but they look good to me. And Roger's got a very nice looking beef dish there as well. It looks absolutely delicious. We looked at lots of places to try and go for dinner or lunch, and when we were in Saints we tried to go out for lunch and we were very tempted, but it was all pizza and pasta and crepes and galettes, all of which have wheat in, most of which also had sauces, so that was a bit of a problem. And even around here we looked and everywhere seems to have seafood with a sauce, which is not great for me. So we've come here because we knew that this one did beef with, or steak with fruits, which was fine, and the starter was absolutely delicious. I had prawns, Roger had a tataki de beef or tatuki de beef or something like that. It's absolutely yummy. So yeah, this seems like a good choice to me. So we both ordered entrecôte of beef. I ordered mine without sauce. It did come with sauce, but that's fine. But with fruits as well. It looks absolutely delicious. The meat looks lovely, so hopefully it will taste as nice as it looks. I'm going to put a bit of salt on my chips there.
So we're on the ferry back home, having just spent 15 nights in Henry.
16 nights.
16 nights, huh? 16 nights. The longest we've spent by far. So, what do we think?
I thought it was great. We had a great time. I'm very glad we went to the south of France.
Yes.
And it was nice to be in one place for 6 nights or 7 nights or whatever it was. That was very nice, wasn't
Yes,
it?
it was. Yes. The bikes were really good. I think they made it. Without them, it would have been a lot more difficult, because effectively we've been in places and we've basically would have had to either get the van out or we'd have had to walk long distances, and we probably wouldn't have gone to a lot of the places we went to. So we haven't, we did well over 100 miles on the bikes. So yeah, that was excellent.
And also, every time when we found a campsite, we didn't actually ever take Henry out until we moved on to the next place, did we?
No. Which
was really good. So we chose our campsites quite well. Most of them were great. I mean, the one at Fougères was lovely. On the one at Saint-Tropez, which we know about, was very nice anyway. The one at Bourges was very nice.
Yes.
The one at Saints, there wasn't much in Saints, was there? That was the trouble.
No, we were slightly disappointed with Saints. The reason we went to Saints was because effectively we looked up on the internet where were Roman towns, and most of them were in Provence, but we wanted to go a bit further north. So we went to what we found was the virtually the only Roman town northern of Provence, and yeah, it was disappointing, really, wasn't it?
It was a bit disappointing. There wasn't a lot there, was there?
No.
But Vannes, we absolutely loved Vannes. I will definitely go back to Vannes because that was a beautiful city, so well organised, and we love the fact there's just cycle lanes everywhere, weren't there?
Yeah, yeah.
And people walking and cycling, just was had a really lovely atmosphere, didn't it?
Yes.
I would go back there for a holiday, to stay for a week or something like that. It was really, really good.
And the campsite was very nice there.
It was.
So we stayed in 3 municipal campsites. I would say of those 3, 2 of them, the loo blocks, were very tired.
Yeah, in Bourges and Saints, the loos were very tired. They were very clean.
They were clean.
Perfectly clean, but quite tired.
They were.
But in Fougères, it was brand new, wasn't it?
It was, yes. So that was great. I did get camper van envy, or motorhome envy, actually, on quite a few ones. But you then look at it and think, actually, where we live in Cornwall, and for the types of roads we were on over the holiday, we really didn't want anything bigger.
And also because if you're in France, you're living mostly outside anyway, apart from sleeping inside.
Yeah.
It was quite cold this morning, wasn't it? Actually, when we got
up,
and it had
chilly,
been quite dewy overnight. But actually, it was lovely, wasn't it? And we ate outside every day, I think, and most of the time we cooked outside every day as well.
We did, yeah, every day we cooked outside.
Yeah, cooked outside, ate outside. We just went in when it got chillier in the evenings, or when it was getting dark, and we didn't really want to get bitten to death. So.
No. We used our awning a lot.
We did,
mainly as a shade against the sun. So yeah, that was useful.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed that.
I mean, I think we were thinking about what we've taken with us, weren't we?
Yes.
And the only thing we took too much of was clothes, really, wasn't it?
Yes. Although mainly shorts in my case.
But yeah, I mean, I think everything else we took with us we've actually used, haven't we?
Yes.
Apart from our little portable fire pit, which we probably didn't really want to take with us this time anyway, but that's fine.
No.
We used the tie-down straps for the awning, didn't we, in the south of France, which was really good.
Yep.
It was quite breezy there, but no, we had a really good time, haven't we?
Yes, so we've got a couple of things on our to-buy list. One is basically somewhere to put the phones when we're on our bikes.
Yeah.
Because the trouble is, when we're actually trying to follow sat-nav, we didn't actually have anywhere to put our phones, so we had to have them in the panniers. And once you've got them in the panniers, you can't actually see them, obviously. You've got to hear them, and she wasn't great anyway, was she? So,
no, and also the traffic sometimes, when if you're trying to listen and you're in a traffic jam or whatever, it's quite hard with all the car noise as well, so that wasn't great, was it?
No, so basically we definitely want somewhere to put the phones on the handlebars so we can actually see them as we're driving along. Another is a plug.
A universal plug, yeah.
So we went to 2 or 3 municipal campsites primarily that didn't have plugs for the sinks.
Yeah.
So we'll get one of those when we get back.
And we also want a mat, don't we? We want some kind of waterproof mat for outside the door, because otherwise what we've noticed is it gets very filthy. I mean, it's filthy in Henry anyway, and he's going to need a very good clean when we get home. But actually he doesn't need to be quite as filthy, because if we've got a mat outside the door, then we won't bring quite so much grot into the van, which would be really good.
And that's the thing with a lot of campsites in France, although they are grass pitches, there's no grass there.
No, it's very dusty, isn't it?
It is very dusty. They don't get the rain, so it is very dusty. So, yes, we brought a lot of dust into Henry. We've been sweeping out as we go, but it's inevitable, really, isn't it?
And the mats and things. I mean, the mats and things in there are all washable anyway.
Attention, s'il vous plaît.
It's just an announcement, so we had to pause that. We were just talking about the tolls as well. We paid about €200 in tolls, which was a heck of a lot, really. Because we're a camper van, we have to pay a bit more than a car does, which I can understand. And usually it's been about 80, well, last time we came, I think it was 80 or 90 euros to get down to the south. So actually €200 was probably about right. And what we did was, when we got to Bourges on the way back, we decided not to go on toll roads. We basically went on the quickest route that wasn't a toll road, which did take probably about an hour or so longer each time, but it was fine, wasn't it?
It was. And the thing is, on all the roads, I went a maximum of 70 miles an hour, just because I've got the bikes on the back. Probably could have done more than that if we hadn't had the bikes on, but I just didn't want to risk it. So, although it's 130 kilometres an hour speed limit, we were doing just over 110. So, being on the toll roads didn't actually make any difference to us as far as, we couldn't go as fast as the speed limits. So, from that point of view, the non-toll roads were actually quite good. There were quite a few non-toll roads that went through villages and were quite slow in places. But by and large, actually, it was nice going through villages as well.
And generally, when we got to Bourges, we weren't in a hurry, were we?
No.
So we did want to get to Bourges, and that was kind of 8 hours from the south of France, and that was fine, wasn't it?
Yes.
But actually, once we got to Bourges, we were quite happy to poodle our way along, weren't we, really?
Yep, indeed.
So would we do anything different next time?
No, I don't think so. It was great. When we left home, we thought we might go down to the south of France, but even a week before we left home, we had no idea. We thought we were going to be in Brittany all the time, but having had a look at the weather, we thought no, and that is a joy of a camper van. Literally, we had booked 2 nights, and that was it. The rest of the time, we just did whatever we wanted to. We didn't book anywhere else apart from, we did book the last campsite the day before, didn't we?
Yes.
Just to make sure we could get in. But other than that, we had no bookings. We went very end of August and beginning of September, and we didn't need to book anywhere, and it was just so nice just being able to do what we wanted to do and make calls as we went. And certainly on the way back, we didn't really know where we were going to, and it was only the last couple of days in the south of France we said, well, let's try these places.
Yeah, and we're very glad we did.
Yeah, we are. So I wouldn't do anything differently. I have to say it was a lovely holiday.
I agree. So if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and send us a comment. A couple of other things that we were thinking about just now as well, and one of them was using your mobile abroad. Now, I've always paid to have Sky Mobile, and they don't allow data roaming in Europe unless you pay for it. But Roger was with Smarty, and he suggested I take out a 1-month Smarty contract while we're away, which I did. And because I'm on his plan, I think it cost me £7.80 or something like that, not very much. And because I'm part of that, then I now get free data roaming up to 12 gig a month. So I may well stay with Smarty because we're planning on going abroad for longer next year as well. And the other thing was money abroad. So we got a post office travel card. You can get lots of different ones like that, but you can put any number of currencies on it that you want. We used it when we went to Canada as well. We loaded it up with £1,000 worth of euros before we came abroad. It's just like having cash. And I think they've got into contactless relatively recently in France as well, and they're very keen for you just to tap and go. So both those things have worked really well.